Oh, Dad, cereal again? Can't we get something hot and different? The next morning. Timmy, breakfast! What's this? It's hot and tastes super sweet and sugary. Well, that's Johnny P's cream of rice. Has your family tried it, Johnny P's? Oh, has your family tried it, Johnny P's? Oh, Johnny P's cream of rice so filled with sugar, it tastes so nice. Oh, has your family tried it, Johnny P's? Johnny P's cream of rice. For now, only sold north of the Mason-Dixon at a fine food store near you. Johnny P's cream of rice.
This is Eric Andrews, CWF Worldwide Television Champion. You're listening to the official, unofficial CWF Worldwide After Show.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Oh.
We didn't
I
see
keep doing the Brown Sucks oh God thing.
For going on 2 years now. The guys here on the network make fun of me for it, no less.
Trevor Lee.
There you go. The host, ring announcer, sometimes brilliant commentator, the lovely CL Party. CL, how are you doing tonight?
I am great. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much.
The technical director of CWF Mid-Atlantic, the one and only Grant Sawyer. Thank you for joining us, Grant. How are you?
Oh, thanks for having me back, buddy. I'm happy to fill in because, I'm just sitting around listening to you guys anyway.
I could be in that building at Absolute Justice and cut a fart.
Mm-hmm.
6 years later, they're going to be like, whatever happened to that badass Joe White sitting in the third row cutting farts?
Right.
Everything fucking means something in this place, and I love
That's what
it.
you want, White.
You're supposed to remember shit.
Mm-hmm. They don't insult your intelligence.
Damn right they don't. None other than the one, the only, Sis. Sis, how are you doing tonight?
I'm fantastic.
Johnny P, John Philip Pavage, is going to be joining us. How are things going?
Oh, good. I got a break from editing because you're calling me.
Okay.
So
I have to
I
ask.
still have to do everything. It's just that I get to pace myself better.
I have to ask because you mentioned it.
Yeah.
What are you editing? Again, that music can only mean one thing. We are joined by the current, reigning, defending, rising Generation League champion of CWF Mid-Atlantic, and that is Mr. Kane Justice. What's up, Kane?
What's up, guys? And by the way, it is the record setting. I've defended the belt 8 times.
There you go.
More than anyone else in history. All about Kane now, man.
Bruce Mitchell is joining me right now on the line. How are you, Bruce?
This week I have done shows with Wade Keller, J.J. Dillon, and WWE Hall of Famer, another WWE Hall of Famer, Stan Hansen, Gerald Briscoe, WWE Hall of Famer, Jim Ross. And now the highlight of the entire run, it's built to this, been like a great wrestling program. I've been climbing that ladder, and now I'm here on the blow-off show, the blow-off match. You're it, man. You transcend all those guys.
I was going to go the opposite of that and say, look how the mighty have fallen.
No. I had to build my way to this show, the CWF.
I appreciate
Unofficial,
it, sir.
official.
I'm with Trevor on this one.
Oh, come on.
I'm with Trevor on
Come
this one.
on.
You got Cecil on the air going, oh, maybe it won't be one of these guys that's here. Maybe it'll be a new guy to dethrone him. Well, how about this, Cecil? Nobody's going to dethrone him. How about that? That's right, Trev.
I love this show.
This is CL Party welcoming you to the unofficial CWF Worldwide After Party with Joe White.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic Worldwide After Show for episode number 126. Wow. And what an episode it was. We're going to talk episode 126 tonight. We're going to talk about FanCon coming up. We're going to give Rumble predictions. Put it in the chat room tonight when I ask you to, and we'll read out your Rumble predictions. Don't put them out there yet, but if you're in there in our chat room live with us, which you could be here live every Wednesday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern right here on the From Pillar to Post YouTube channel. And you can join us live. You can interact in our chat room. We're also on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/1650PWAM. Yes, that is going to be changing to From Pillar to Post soon, hopefully. But for now, it's still under the 1650 PWAM banner. So we got a couple subscribers. I didn't get to these guys last week when JB was on because my OBS was acting up. And you may have even heard one going on during the Johnny P's ad, which is awesome. But we're going to go ahead and get to a couple of these. I'm going to redo the ones that we missed last week because I always like to give our subscribers, anytime you follow me on Twitch, anytime you subscribe to me on YouTube, you get a shout out the next time we go live. The first one here is Matthew Acosta. Let me move this over so people can read it. There he is. Vince is worried because you subscribe to us here on YouTube, which I don't think he's that worried, but thank you, Matthew. And on Twitch, we had a new follower last week. This is my boy Derek. I used to work with him at support.com, which I'm going back there as of Monday. Somebody shoot me now. He goes by, let me see if, is it not working? Okay, apparently, there he is. That's Jalopy style. He gets a link right there on the Twitch. He's following me on Twitch. Thank you very much, Derek. We got a couple of other new subscribers. I did a thing this past Monday where I watched Raw live, like from my iPhone. Like you were looking at my TV as I was watching it, and I was giving my live reactions. And it got a lot of hits, surprisingly. And I got a couple of new subscribers here. Chris the Geek Bowman, thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. Again, Vince is worried because you're here. I don't know why he's worried, but, well, again, we'll get to that in a minute. And we have another one here. If it'll come through, we have another new subscriber. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Nicolay216A, thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for subscribing to From Pillar to Post. Of course, I'll be honest with you guys. I've been, not wanting to do an after show for Raw for a few weeks now just because of everything going on with getting ready with FanCon and job hunting and everything else. But it will probably be returning here soon, depending on how the new job goes. I'm going back to the very first work-at-home company I ever worked with, doing Comcast. Basically, that's who I'll be working for. So if you have Comcast internet and your internet goes down, don't freaking call me. And finally, we got a subscriber. I want to say she already they already subscribed, but I could have swore they did. Maybe they had to make a new channel here. But long-time CWF fan Sophia Moon has just subscribed here on YouTube. Thank you very much, Sophia, for resubscribing. I don't know why Vince is worried that you're here, but he is. So I want to thank you guys very much for hitting that like button, hitting the subscribe button. Every time you subscribe, you get a shout out. And please, do me a favor, if you subscribe to the channel, or if you listen here each and every week, share, share, share. There's a share button right here on YouTube. Hit that button and spread the word about us, man. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for CWF and if it wasn't for you guys listening each and every week. Everybody who does listen, so thank you very, very much for listening. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, and let's keep this thing rolling. Now, I got a bone to pick with YouTube this week, and it does relate to CWF Mid-Atlantic. I went and checked my videos. Everybody's been talking about lately how their videos have been getting demonetized. Now, what does monetize mean? For those who don't know, YouTube allows you to monetize your videos, which means they play ads in front of them, and they give you a little bit of ad revenue off of that. I think it's like 20 cents per ad, whatever, depending on the size and views on your channel. And I woke up this morning, the channel looked good, everything was getting views, everything was going nice. For a small channel that I am, got a few new subscribers, I was happy about that. And then about 4 o'clock this afternoon, I go to, I check the channel and I see gold dollar signs next to about 30 of my videos, including episodes of this show. And it means that it is, I want to show you a screenshot, but I'm not going to. It says, not suitable for most advertisers. And this has been a thing with wrestling on YouTube since probably the beginning of the year. I've talked to Grant Sawyer about it. Grant's not fazed about it. I don't even know if CWF monetizes their videos on YouTube, which, what's the point now, huh? They wouldn't see any fucking money off of it. Sorry, I know I said I'm going to tone down on the cursing, but this really has me riled up tonight. Not because I'm gaining any money. I've never made a dime. I've been doing this 12 years. I've never made a dime off any podcast. I'll be honest with you. The most I've ever gotten out of doing a podcast was, this is going to sound funny. We were sponsored by, back in like 2006, we were sponsored when Rick Hendricks and the Raging Redneck Charlie Roth, who's my cousin, who I wish would come back, but he can't, we were doing a show together, and we got sponsored by an online beef jerky outlet, okay? And they weren't sending us money to run their ads. We got free beef jerky every month, which, hey, what can you do, huh? It's free beef jerky. So we got free. That's the most I've ever gotten in the 12 years I've been doing this. Probably about 1/4 get the okay. No rhyme or reason. Well, that's what I'm getting to here. There's some videos, like the Raw reaction video I did Monday night. It's monetized. The CWF FanCon equipment test that I did, it can be monetized. Every single part of my Grand Theft Auto 5 Let's Play that is on this channel has been dinged, except for the part that I just uploaded a few days ago. The From Pillar to Post that Raw after show that I did on the 10th it can be monetized. The Johnny P. Cream of Rice ad can be monetized here. But you go back and it's like every episode of almost every episode of this after show that I've done is been flagged, man. It's not suitable for most advertisers. Now, I'm not in this to make money. I could care less what's monetized. I could care what's less not. It'd be nice to make money. It'd be nice to have this be my full-time job like some YouTubers can do. That's the dream, folks. That's the American internet dream, I guess, is to never ever have to leave my fucking desk again and just to look at a webcam and a microphone and do videos for you guys and get paid for it. That's the dream. It's not going to happen, but a guy can dream, can he? My problem with this whole thing is the consistency of it. The fact that it gets ran through a computer. The fact that there's no human being sitting there looking at these videos, scanning them, going, yes, this one's good. No, that one's bad. Yes, this one's good. It's done by a computer, by an algorithm, a piece of computer coding. I got videos on my channel that are done way back in 2009, back when, golly, when I was still married. Anyway, that are being flagged. I got videos, like I did an interview with Sean Sisk, the guy who happened to film the Santino Jim Cornette incident this past weekend at Cobo up in Michigan. Yeah, he took that cell phone footage. He was kind enough to come on the channel and tell me about his experience at the convention. Tell me about his experience in the wrestling world, because he does have some ties to it. He has friends in the business. And tell me a little bit about that Cornette-Santino confrontation. It got over 100 views in 24 hours, and guess what? I can't monetize it, but there's shit on this channel that is 6 views from, me and my son playing around online, just dicking around with a camera. Oh, that could be monetized. Now, I know, and I've said this before on the channel, and I'll get off the soapbox here in a second, guys. I do apologize, but I got to say this because it affects this show. They're telling us that this after show, and essentially CWF Mid-Atlantic, is not best for advertising. Oh, we can't have Kraft Macaroni and Cheese sponsoring that after show. Oh, goddamn, pal. We can't have Mercedes-Benz in front of the after show. Damn fat-ass motherfucker can't even afford a Mercedes. You're right, I can't. But still. But it's the consistency. And I know YouTube, and it's going to go this way, whether people are going to like it or not. And I'm warning you now, within 10 years, it's going to be this way. YouTube is going to sit there and cut monetization off completely if people keep bitching about it the way I am. It's just the way the dog points his head. Because all YouTube has to do is put a little bit of fine print at the bottom of every single page that says uploading your video means that it is now the exclusive property of YouTube, and you give up any kind of financial compensation when you upload to our site. I'm surprised they haven't done it yet. And another thing is, people ask me all the time, Joe, why don't you have a Patreon page? One, I don't have enough followers to have a Patreon page. Two, I really don't like the fact that people of telling people to pay for my shit. I'm not in the wrestling business. I don't have a gimmick table. I would never expect people to pay to hear my voice unless I ever, God forbid, ever get on satellite radio. Then you would have to pay for me. Yeah, I know. He's got high hopes. But anyway, my thing is not that you want to unmonetize my videos, unmonetize them, but have some consistency. The fact that I have views, this show gets views. Last week, I had, and I know this is not going to sound like a hill of beans, but I had 47 people listen to the damn show last week. That's good for me, my little ass channel. I know it makes me seem like small potatoes, but you know what? I thank every 47 of you that listened. To people who listened to the Sean Sisk interview, that got over 100 views. I want to thank everybody who listened to that. Again, I don't do this for the money. I get one view on a video and I feel like freaking Shane Dawson or any other insert PewDiePie. I feel like PewDiePie if I get one viewer. Wrestling content draws a disproportionate number of views in comparison with return on ad spent investment. I get why they do it. Yeah, they do it to WWE too, and WWE gets millions of people in. I'm just saying, I don't care that they demonetized it. That doesn't offend me. What offends me is the inconsistency of it, how one episode of the After Show is good, but the other episode isn't. Anyway. Let's talk about episode 126 of CWF Worldwide, shall we? I'll get off the soapbox now. I'm all fired up, people. Joe's fired up tonight. We kicked it off. We are in Chapel Hill, North Carolina at the Hargraves Community Center. A very, very packed crowd. It actually looks like they drew a lot of people there. Glad to see that. In fact, it looks more like they drew more people this time than they did the last time they were at Hargraves. I mean, it came off that way on camera, at least. The Dirty Daddy with the Dirty Mamas, which, where do you find the Dirty Mamas? Well, if you ask Bruce Pritchard, you just go to Dirty Mamas R Us, and, there you go. It's not just YouTube. Look at how many advertisers on TNA's networks explicitly choose to not have their ads run on TNA, even though TNA gets most of the views. I also think that Pop TV has something to do with that because it is a ad sharing thing. That when other ads air on Pop TV gets most of, if not all, the money off of that, but yet they have to split it with TNA. And plus, TNA gets most of their views, but they do have other shows on there. Like I've heard that, what's it called, Schlitz Creek draws a pretty good amount of viewers. But I get what you're saying. It's just wrestling in general. Wrestling's not hot right now, except for to a select niche market. Niche, however you want to say it. And I've been saying it for about a year now. It's boiled down to the casual fan. It's boiled down to us, folks. Episode 126, again, Dirty Daddy with the Dirty Mamas from the Dirty Mamas R Us store. And Faye Jackson. The debuting Faye Jackson. They took on Sharpie, Ethan Alexander Sharp, and the Rising Generation League champion Kane Justice. This match, this whole card was just fun. If I had to sit there and describe one word to put a bow on this thing, this episode is just fun. The Dirty Mamas are Blue Devil hookers. Well, one of them had a blue dress on and looked like she could barely walk. I'll just say that. They went down to the downtown part of Chapel Hill to find I don't mean to offend. I kid. The commentators here said this was going to be a hoot. And they said, no, it's going to be a hoot and a half. I like how Faye Jackson and all them, there's a spot early on where Kane and Faye are dancing around. They're dancing, and she pops, gives the hip swivel, and Kane likes it. Kane's got her in a damn Oh, man. I can't even describe it. At one point, Kane's got her in a waist lock. She starts doing the hip swivel, and Kane just starts smiling like a virgin. It's the only way I can describe it. I don't know if the boy is or not, folks. That's none of my business. But he sold it that way, and it was beautiful. You know, he likes it so much that his eyes were rolling back into the back of his head. And the big thing I took away from this match, one of the big things I should say, I wrote down in big capital letters, Robbie Walsh was back. Welcome back, Robbie. I know it was probably only for this one show here in Chapel Hill, but welcome back, man. It was nice to see you. We got good arm drags by Faye. I got to tell you guys. There's one point where, you know, I put here, Sharpie and Kane both got boobed, which means they got both rubbed in Faye Jackson's cleavage. Sharpie, of course, sells it, and Kane sells it like he just discovered, you know, water or something. Like he's just found the land of milk and honey. So it was beautiful. We got a hip thrust, and Cecil calls it like it's a Japanese move. I can't remember the name he said, but it's like leave it up to Cecil Scott to find the Japanese name for this simple move. The one thing I did not agree with in the whole match, and it got heat, I guess, was the smack in the face to Faye. And I know it's wrestling, but I hate to be this kind of guy, but with everything that's been going on in the news this week, it didn't feel right. But hey, it's wrestling. She's in there with men. Like I said last week, most of these women train with men. So it's okay. It's okay. It'll get a pass here. And the Dirty Daddy was quick to come in to avenge it. So that they told a story there. It was a good story. Good story. And I like how Faye was selling it on the outside. She's holding her face, you know. And she's really, really selling it on the outside. Very, very good detail there by Faye Jackson. You know, I wrote a couple other things here down. When Dirty Daddy was in the heel's corner, the one would distract the ref, the other one would put on the sleeper hold or the headlock, and vice versa. And it kept going on for a few minutes. I really liked that. Sharpie hit a regal cutter tonight. He hit a regal cutter. Man, that was awesome to see. Honestly, I know this is going to make me sound like a total mark, but whenever I buy the wrestling video games, the 2K, whatever, I always give my created character the regal cutter as a finish because I've always liked the regal cutter. The regal cutter's way over with me. First time Sharpie has touched a woman twice, and then somebody already created I believe it was Mellow Yellow Bullet on Twitter already created a gif of Sharpie laying down and Faye doing the jumping deal where she sits on him, and I'm just sitting here going, that ain't the first time he's had a thick girl on his face. But we'll move along. Too much? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I love you, Sharpie. I can't wait to interview him this Saturday. Faye hits a version, I guess you would call it a version of the Emerald Fusion for the win. And I like this match. I got to tell you, I listened to a podcast this week, and I'm not going to say which one, but there was a podcast that covers CWF Mid-Atlantic. They interview all indies, but they really do every week. They do a segment on CWF Mid-Atlantic because it is episodic, because they can follow it, and they follow it for the same reason I do. They don't do it live like we do here each and every week, or every Wednesday at 7:30 or at 10:30. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But I thought I was critical of this product at times. And I thought I was downright harsh on this product at times. Until I listened to this podcast, and I'm sitting there going, my God, these guys are brutal. These guys are Meltzerizing this thing, if that's a word. You know, they're giving shit star ratings and calling it, like Dave Meltzer was reviewing this, and I'm just sitting here going, Jesus Christ, I'm glad I'm not like this. I mean, should I be more critical of this product? I don't know. Do you guys like the way I review the product? Maybe I should be more harsh. I borderline some of the stuff they said. I'll go ahead and say it, because I even put it out on Twitter. They called last week's episode skippable. If you ain't got the time to watch it, they said it's skippable. And to me, that's blasphemous, man. I would never. I watch this each and every week. I would never. There's not one episode in 2017 that I would call skippable. This show included. Last week was phenomenal, man. With that RGL show, are you kidding me? Skippable? Come on. So again, Faye Jackson getting the win with that awesome move. It reminded me of a really crazy Emerald Fusion. And I liked the match. I really did. We got CL Party. We're following the number one rule of the after show. Rule number one of the after show, folks. Say it with me. Val must always put over CL Party. She tweeted out something today saying that she was unprofessional. Unless an edit was made, I don't see where she was unprofessional on this show. She was giving honest reactions, and they were beautiful, just as beautiful as she is. I ain't got a bad thing to say about you, CL. You did good. I don't see where anything you did was unless they made an edit. Like I said, nothing here was unprofessional. Joshua Cutshaw, she's with Joshua Cutshaw and Otto Schwanz. CL's reactions are good. Otto just randomly yells as Josh is cutting his little crazy promo. You know, he's doing his boss, boss, boss. And he's running around, boss, 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 you know, and he runs off to the ring, and Cutshaw's like just standing there. And as he walks away, he sees the Purell hand sanitizer gimmick on the wall. He takes a little bit of it, rubs it on his hands, and rubs it in his eyes, and acts like he's got soap in his eyes, and runs to the ring. I would have loved to seen CL's reaction, unless that's what they cut out with her laughing. They were taking on the Sandwich Squad next. Everyone broke on the pre-tape, but it was right after the cut. I would have left it in. I know, you can't because of the story. But there's nothing that you could tell me. I'm just imagining Cutshaw sitting there looking around going, what the fuck can I do? What can I do? And this is the mark of a good wrestler here. Good worker. What can I do? Oh, the fucking Purell machine's on the wall. Wait till she finishes. I'm going to go over there, and I'm going to do something. I'm going to interact with the environment. I like it. Good job, Joshua. Very good job. This match was all over the place. All over the place. Joshua tagging himself in and hitting Otto and just, oh man, you know, Cutshaw chopping Otto and covering Otto and tagging Otto in. And it's just, I want to see these two team up again, to be honest with you. Cutshaw talking to the jacket. There's the commentary was all over the place in this, you know, and Stutzy looks at Cecil once and goes, I'm glad you're retired. And Cecil breaks down and goes, why is this about me? What in any of this is about me? I just love the commentary week in and week out here. And then in the back of the in the back of the arena, all of a sudden, coming through the door, you know, we get a bunch of kids walk in, and I can only imagine that, you know, they were probably college kids, and they were probably sitting, you know, out partying on a Saturday night, and I could just imagine they saw, oh, wrestling, let's just go in there, and, you know, they all of a sudden they freaking got oh man, this is toga. So we got a toga party coming in. Only thing I could say is at least they weren't smuggling in booze like the other frat boys that hit last year. So we got the toga party coming in, and they even make reference to it on the commentators. And Cecil's like, I see somebody I gotta see over here, you know. Let me go say hi to these guys. And Stutzy's like, this is classic Vince McMahon with with Elizabeth, with you wanting to go wander off and talk to Elizabeth. I honestly, the match was it was awesome. You know, the Sandwich Squad hitting all their usual stuff. They hit the flatbread elbow for the win. I gotta say that the commentary and the toga party coming in kind of distracted you from the match. It kind of, and Otto and Josh just stealing the show. It was fun. It was fun. It's one of those times where they're funny and it can actually work for you. It's not just yuck comedy for the sake of yuck comedy. We weren't getting, and it was like that with the next match too. We got a little bit of comedy thrown in. We got a little bit of improv comedy thrown in on the commentators, by the commentators. It was beautiful. Go back and watch it if you haven't already. I'm hoping you've watched it. I want to see Otto and Josh team up again after seeing this. It was just something about those two just clicked for me. It really did. Oh man. Sorry, folks. Man, my throat is like really dry tonight after that YouTube rant now. Ugh. We got more CL parties. She's standing out in front of the entranceway, and she's about to announce the six-man tag. And Coach Mikey comes in and gives her a little wrinkled-up piece of paper and reads it and says that it's duck rules, no no countouts, no tags. Basically, it's lucha rules. Anything goes. And it's high profile, which is Shea McGrady and Will Demented taking on the Ugly Ducklings, which was Lance Lude and Rob Killjoy, and the Gym Nasty Boys, which were Timmy Lou Ritten and White Mike Jordan. This match, I literally tried to take notes during this, and I'd still would be watching the show if I took notes on this. There's one point where, here's a duck reference for you. Here's a Mighty Duck reference for you. Cecil Scott will appreciate this if he's listening. He's a Mighty Ducks mark like me. At one point during this match, the part in the Mighty Ducks where everybody's shooting at Goldberg during that first game against the Hawks, and finally Goldberg just throws his pads and sticks down, and he moves to the side, and he's just like, take the goal. Just take the goal. That's how I felt during this match. I threw my pen down, and I was like, fuck it. Just do it. Just make me smile. And that's what we got here. High profile here. Was it just me, or did they have Eggo waffles printed on their damn tights? That's what it looked like to me. I was like, is that honeycomb? Is it bees hive? I'm like, no, it's waffles. So they got the awful waffle tights on. And White Mike has longer hair than I remember. Of course, it's been a while since we've seen him. I want to say the last time we saw White Mike Jordan was at the Fan Fest during the Kronodle Cup. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Or it might have been Kronodle Cup weekend was the last time we saw him. The Timmy Lou Ritten, this is my first time seeing these two, the Gym Nasty Boys, as a team. I like it. And I've heard, JB said a couple weeks ago here that them and the Ugly Ducklings have kind of been peddling this feud up and down the East Coast here. It was Waffle House. Okay, Waffle House. Okay. And so they were, they've been kind of doing the Ugly Ducklings versus the Gym Nasty Boys up and down, the East Coast and all over the country here. That's kind of been the match to book. Which it's not often you find matches like that with two tag teams being booked everywhere against each other like that. It's very rare nowadays. I noticed they had the Rat Barra Steakhouse. That's R-A-T Barra. Not Rubera, Rat Barra Skank House jackets. I kind of want one of those. And then the Ducklings, with Lance Lude and Rob Killjoy with the Toga Party. Every time somebody would come out, the Toga Party would go, Toga, Toga, and wave their towels in the air. It was great. And then to start the match, they were doing the West Side Story Greasers walk and snap in a circle, which was awesome. Shows again, you can have a little bit of ha-ha, a little bit of the gaga, as Pat Patterson would say. You can have a little bit of the gaga. But they didn't overdo it in this match. They did not overdo it a bit. I put here Timmy Lou written is awesome. McGrady hit that beautiful DDT. A beautiful Falcon Arrow by Mike Jordan here. Killjoy gets the Let's Get Dangerous. 10 points if you can figure out where that's from without looking it up. That's a piece of my childhood right there. The Uranagi and Backstabber combo by the Jim Nasty Boys was freaking awesome. I love that move. The Poison Ranas. You guys know how I feel about the backwards Hurricane Rana, the reverse Ranas. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. Somebody's going to end up getting killed from that move, or at least paralyzed from that move. If I never see a reverse Rana again, I'd be a happy guy. Timmy Lou, big guy hitting the shooting star press. And he hit that for the win. This match again, I stopped taking notes and until right before the finish. This match, you need to go, if you have not seen it, you need to go out of your way to see it. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was funny in the places that it needed to be funny. It was serious in the places that it needed to be freaking serious. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. Nobody was doing suplexes with their dick, and nobody was doing anything like that. It was subtle comedy. A little bit of gaga in there. It's beautiful. And I'm glad that the Jim Nasty Boys get the win, and they make reference to their feud with the Ducks, and that, hey, we won, and we pinned the Ducks in the process. I like that. I like it. And the commentary at some points was like, screw it, just let them do it. They were all over the place, too. The commentary did their best to keep up. I know Stutzy and them were having a hard time with that. I would have. We got more CO Party. She's trying to introduce Snooty Fox, and the All-Stars interrupt, and she's like, no, not again. No, these guys ain't supposed to come out. Hurry, again, not being Promobot 5,000 or Promobot 3,000. It was beautiful. The All-Stars interrupt, and they're wearing the Duke gear because you got the whole Duke versus Chapel Hill, the UNC versus Duke deal going on. It's weird. I'm in Danville, which is right on the North Carolina-Virginia border. And there's more UNC Chapel Hill fans and Duke fans in this area. And I'm like, you live in Virginia. Shouldn't you be rooting for Virginia Tech? They're the closest university to you. No. We're so close to that North Carolina border. This is probably a Duke or Tar Heel town. There's more people wearing Carolina blue around here than I don't know what. Jerry Carey cut a good promo before the match. This crowd was red hot by this point. Golly, was this crowd awesome. JB's right. I got to get to this Chapel Hill show in January when they come back. Good. I have Snooty way over. Snooty is way over, and this is probably the best Snooty Fox match I've ever seen. I'm putting Snooty Fox over here. And I know it's in his hometown, so he always has a good showing there. But this was awesome. This was just freaking amazing. And again, you put him in there with Eric Royal. Eric Royal can carry him where he needs to be carried. He didn't need to be carried that much here, though, guys. I will say it. I've been really critical of Snooty this year. Really critical. And this match by far was awesome. I don't have a bad thing to say about Snooty Fox in this match. He did good. He impressed the hell out of me. Big spin kick by Royal there after the clothesline. Royal throws there's one spot in the match where they're brawling on the outside, and Royal literally throws Snooty Fox into a bunch of old women. Literally. They're brawling into the crowd. And then they go to the outside the arena. What kills me is they're talking about, we got armed guards in the front and at the entrance. So these two are brawling, right? And they're brawling. And they go right out the door, right past the cop. And before they could get to the cop, though, this was great. The cop is like got this holy shit look on his face, and he just quickly moves to the side like he's not even a cop, like he's a standard fan. So I'm like, oh my God, the cop is even intimidated by these guys. which, you know, the cops know the deal. Whenever you go to an indie show and there's cops around, the cops are there to make sure nobody's getting into a fight or doing anything illegal. So the cops know the show. Hell, the wrestlers are probably making friends with the cops before the show, telling them what's going on. They brawl in front of the cops, and I like the fact that when they went outside, and I know they could have done the commentary in post if they wanted to, but I like the fact that the second they hit outside, the commentary stopped. And the action spoke for itself. It was beautiful. They're outside. The kids are playing basketball out there on the court. And they're brawling on the court. And the people are, you know, cheering them on. And, you know, everybody, referee Robinson and everybody else is sitting there doing their best to keep everybody back. And all of a sudden, you know, Royal gets a basketball to the head by Snooty Fox. And if you ever been hit in the head with a basketball, those things hurt. Those cops were useless during that finish. Yes, they were. Royal goes over to the fence and runs Snooty Fox into the fence. They brawl back around to the front of the building, and as soon as they get into the backstage area, and they get thrown back into the crowd, and the commentary resumes. I loved the commentary during this match, and I loved the fact that they did the no commentary on the outside. It was beautiful. Huge backdrop on the outside by Snooty Fox after Royal goes for the pile driver. I put here, and again, red hot crowd. They even make mention that William Cross is there holding everybody back, and I noticed that William Cross is wearing an Impact Wrestling t-shirt. I did not know that the Charmin toilet paper company sold shirts. Never knew that about Charmin. Don't, you know. Power slam off the ropes by Snooty. It looked okay. He's got a little bit of work to do if he's want to hit that move again. By this point in the match, though, the guys were pretty tired. So, get a spear by Snooty, and the finish came where Snooty's going for the knucks because it's a brass knuckles on a pole match. Yet there's no DQ. I never got this deal. I get it. That the knucks are supposed to be the finish. That should be your finish, and it was the finish here, and it was beautifully done. But the rule is that anybody, the first person to get the knucks off the pole is allowed to use them, but it's no DQ. It's wrestling. So Jerry Carey hands Royal a pair of knucks as Snooty's going for them on the pole. Mace Lee gets, the brass knucks to the face by Snooty Fox. Royal clocks Snooty Fox with a pair of brass knuckles that Jerry Carey had given him. Gets the win. He gets the he tucks the illegal brass knucks in his tights. He gets the legal brass knucks and puts them on his hand. The Toga Party is going wild in the background. God bless the Toga Party. They're awesome. They cover Snooty Fox and the Duke with the Duke University flag. The commentary is like, the commentary reminded me of an old school Ring of Honor promo. Golly, I can't remember which one it is. It wasn't unscripted. Oh man, it makes me want to go back and watch it now because it reminded me something of it. It's where Homicide and Samoa Joe were fighting and something happened, and all you hear is Gabe Sapolsky when he was worked under his work name. I can't even remember what Gabe's work commentary name was, but all you hear is Gabe going, all pro show promos are canceled. All pro show promos are canceled. Riot, Homicide's tearing up the back area. Oh, they're coming over here. We're going to get out of here. And all you hear is Gabe screaming, and that's the end of the show. This was like, Brad Stutz's version of that going, they're going to start a riot. We got to get out of here. And that's the last you hear of the commentary. It was very well done. Very well done. The crowd's throwing shit into the ring. Somebody threw cotton candy or peanuts or something in the ring. Royal picks it up and eats it. From what I read on Twitter the night that this happened, those fans were pissed. And it was heat. It was white heat that night in that building. From what I gather, a lot of people on Twitter going, glad we made it out of Chapel Hill alive tonight. So that was your episode, folks. That was episode 126, and maybe Grant can answer this for me. Is that all of the Chapel Hill stuff we'll be seeing next week? Are we going to be seeing the undercard of the Rumble next week? We'll get into the Rumble here in just a minute. But I like this show. The only way I could describe this show again, fun. If I had to describe it in a word, fun. And it just goes to show you that nothing, despite what any other podcast or any other internet radio show out there tells you, nothing that this company does is skippable. And to me, to say that any episode of this is skippable, it's a borderline offensive to me. I'll be honest with you. This show is definitely not skippable. As much hard work as that goes into this show, from the ring crew to the guys sweeping the floors in those buildings, nothing in this is skippable. Rumble Undercard is next week. Good. I'm glad they didn't expand Chapel Hill into 2 episodes like they did last time. Because I'll be honest with you, that card, I wish I could have been there, man. Because I love White Mike. I love the fact that Robbie Walsh returned. Faye Jackson made her debut. I hope Faye Jackson's in the Rumble. I hope Alley Cat's in the Rumble. I hope so. I want to see more of those two, because for 2 weeks we got 2 debuting women. And the same podcast I listened to last week commentated on the Faye Jackson promo. Anything else from Chapel Hill is being held for something else. Is it a blooper reel, a CL Party losing it like a Saturday Night Live cast member? Because that I want to see. Is there a CL Party blooper reel out there? That needs to be shown at FanCon. That's an idea for FanCon. If Grant can if Grant can get that together, is there a CL Party blooper reel out there? Something tells me that there may not exist one. One may not exist, because she's pretty good at what she does. But if there is a blooper, hell, even a CWF blooper reel would be nice. Oh, man. But anyway, we are 2 days away, almost 1 day away from FanCon, ladies and gentlemen. This right here has made me so nervous all week. Faye's at Ring of Honor on Saturday. Damn it. Anyway. I don't save outtakes, to be honest. You should. Those should be included in Images of the Year. Do like Images of the Year, and then like a 10-minute blooper reel. I know Images is like a lot for you to put together, Grant, but a CWF blooper reel would be freaking fantastic. I've always been a fan of blooper reels and stuff. Remember the Dick Clark's bloopers and practical jokes shows that used to air on NBC? I always used to watch those as a kid. So I'm a big fan of gag reel stuff. So FanCon is golly, day after tomorrow. Whew. I'll be honest with you guys. I got a list of people. I was going to try to make title cards for each and every one of them, and so you would see their picture and their Twitter handle on the screen and everything. But I'm just not going to have time to do it, guys. So your screen will pretty much look how it does now for FanCon. Maybe doing video. I might bring the webcam along and do video. It's going to be shitty video. Nowhere near the caliber of a Grant Sawyer. But I might bring the webcam and do video. Anyway. I got a list of people here that Johnny P sent me. And I'm going to try to find it right now. Scheduled. These are not confirmed cards, subject to change as usual. But the Babyface panel at 10 a.m. On Saturday. This is Saturday. This is people that you're going to be hearing. If you're not coming to FanCon, which a lot of people who listen to this after show are not coming to FanCon. Surprised to hear how many people are not going to be able to make it. But people have lives, I suppose. You're going to be hearing interviews from Michael McAllister. CL Party is going to return to the after show when we interview her. The Dirty Daddy. We're going to have an interview with him, hopefully. Smith Garrett. I know. Oh, God, Joe's going to interview Smith. Is Smith going to end up knocking Joe White out? I doubt it, but I got some interesting questions for Smith. They're in my head. A lot of people are going, do you write these down? I so badly. I'll give you a little behind the scenes here. I got this list of names, and I'm sitting here with a pen and paper yesterday going, what questions can I ask these people? And I got writer's block. And I never, with the interviews that I have on here, when I interviewed Sis, when we interviewed Kane, I don't write anything down. Because to me, the interview is so much better when it's like a conversation, when you're sitting there shooting the you-know-what with people. You know, you do an interview to find out questions, not to, you know, yeah, you do a little bit of research, but the point of an interview is to ask questions and to get answer to questions, to find out what you didn't know before. You know, if you already knew, if I already know the answers to the questions, what's the point in asking the questions? Because nowadays on the internet, anybody can go look stuff up. So these are going to be a little bit special here for me. Going to have some conversations with these guys, get to know them a little bit better. I think that's the point. Nick Richards is going to be on the Babyface panel, and he'll be there. Snooty Fox, we get to interview Snooty finally. I get to actually ask him the hard questions and ask him about his career so far. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say 2 years at the Rumble, Snooty Fox, he didn't make his in-ring debut, but he played like a security guard. He stopped one of the All-Stars from exiting the arena, if I remember. Also Cecil Scott is going to be there as well. And then those are your baby faces. Your heels, Kane Justice is going to be there. So Kane Justice will be making a return to the after show that day. Eric Royal. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be sitting there marking out when half these guys are sitting next to me. I can't help it. I just can't help it. Eric Andrews. I can finally get to interview him in person. He's going to return to the after show. Lee Valiant is going to be on the tentatively scheduled to be interviewed. And Old Shoppy, Ethan Alexander Sharp. There's one that I've been dying to interview, honestly. And then we got the legends, the Coach. Oh man, to get to interview Coach, come on, forget about it. Mitch Connor, the handsome man Mitch Connor. Amber Gertner. Kamikaze Kid. Now, if I do the video interview, is Kazi going to have to wear the mask? Do I do that to Kazi or not? Something tells me he'll be there with the mask on anyway. Kayfabe. William Cross, probably. Hell, I would love to interview. I want to get Coach and Cross together. Interview those guys together. That's who we have right now, tentatively scheduled. I mean, it's not 100% confirmed who's going to be there, who's going to not be there. But yeah, the dinner is Friday night. There's still time to attend. There's still time to get your money to JB or Johnny P. Their Twitter names have been circling along the bottom of your screen. So if you're watching this on a Thursday, on Thursday, there's still time to attend this thing, guys. The dinner is the only part of FanCon that you have to pay for. Coach is really, really shy, though. Hey, come on. Can't be shy around me. Can't be shy around. I'm not really, here's the thing about me. I do the radio thing. But I'm kind of a shy person in real life myself. So I can't blame Coach for that. I'm not like I am on the radio in real life. Because to me, this is like performance art. Radio is theater of the mind. Theater of the mind. See, I'm definitely not the same guy I am, but I'll try my best when it comes to FanCon. So that's, come join us. Come hang out. $10 a head, guys, for some Italian food. You can't beat that. It reminds me of The Walking Dead. That famous line from Negan. You pay $10, you come hang out, and they'll feed you spaghetti. So come on out, eat some pasta with us, watch some wrestling. We got a Q&A panel. A Q&A panel with Grant and Stutzy. Even if you don't come eat. Let's say you don't come eat. Even if you don't, that was sarcasm. Even if you don't come eat, come for the panel. Come for the matches that are going to be screened for the on the Sawyertron. Come back to the hotel. We're having a good old-fashioned tape watching party. It's kind of hard to detect sarcasm in text. It really is. I have that problem a lot. Can't really tell when somebody's serious nowadays. And then on Saturday, we got all those guys coming. They're going to be doing panels. There's a heel panel. There's a legends panel. There's a babyface panel. And then on Saturday night, hopefully you got your tickets already. VIP front row is already sold out. Second row VIP with the concessions is already there. Or is still there, I should say. No comfy chair though. Me, I'm keeping it genuine with me. You know, back in ECW, you had the front row people, and then you had the bleacher bums. I'm the bleacher bum. I got my general admission ticket. I know, Joe White, cheap bastard. Anyway, so you got the Rumble event itself happening Saturday night, and it's gonna be awesome. They got 2 matches announced. We got a rematch, tag team rematch. We got 2 rematches actually. You got the Sandwich Squad taking on the Dawsons for the CWF Mid-Atlantic Tag Team title. And you got the Dirty Daddy versus Kane Justice. Now, here, I want Grant to back me up on this. I was watching last year's Raw, or I was watching Battlecade. And if I'm not mistaken, doesn't the Rumble mark Dirty Daddy's 3rd year in the business? Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say he debuted at the Rumble 2 years ago. This would be 3 years. This coming Rumble would be 3 years. So, if memory serves me right, since this is his quote-unquote 3rd year in the business, doesn't this mean that this is the last time that Dirty Daddy's going to be able to go for that RGL title? Isn't the cutoff 3 years? So this is the 17th annual Royal Rumble. CWF Rumble, 30 wrestlers, 1 massive match. It's for the title. Trevor Lee enters in at number 1. Can he run the gauntlet? Can he run the gauntlet? I want to say that's my pick right there. It's the obvious pick. And the way that they've been booking things, it's obvious. I think he's going to go from number 1. He's going to run the distance. Not only is he going to run the distance and go through all 30 guys, obviously he's not going to eliminate all 30 guys. That would be bad booking. But not only is he going to survive all 29 other guys. Start of 3rd year would mean 1 more year if you're correct. I want to say I was either watching Battlecade from last year or last year's Rumble, and they mentioned that he debuted at the Rumble, I want to say in 2015. So this would be his 3rd Rumble, which would be 3 years. I don't know. Maybe he does have 1 year left. It includes the 3rd year. Okay, so he has 1 year left. So by next year's Rumble, I want to say he'll be gone. He'll be gone. Or he won't be eligible for the RGL division. But anyway, Trevor Lee is my pick to win it this year. I think that's everybody's pick to win it this year, to be honest with you. And not only do I think that Trevor Lee comes out at number 1, here's what I would do. Because Trevor Lee's broken everybody else's GD record this year, I'm trying not to curse. It's hard. When you have the mouth of a sailor all your life, trying not to curse is pretty hard. Why not break the Iron Man record too? Why not break that? Why not break Sharpie's record? So his 3rd Rumble means he's been in there for 2 years. Okay. So I think what you do, here's what I would do. I say you book Trevor Lee number 1, and you put Ethan Alexander Sharp in there at number 2, and you go, the guy who must do it, run the gauntlet versus the Iron Man of the match. And honestly, I think that Trevor Lee is going to break that record this year. I would not be surprised if they book this to where Trevor Lee stays in there for well over an hour. So I think that not only is Trevor Lee going to win it, I think Trevor Lee is going to last the longest out of anybody ever in Rumble history. And they said it best on PW Pondering's podcast that they did this week. This right here marks the road to Battlecade. We got Ultimate Survivor this year in November. We got the RGL tournament coming up, but this right here marks the road to Battlecade. So it's very interesting to see what they can do here. It's very interesting to see how they're going to mix the storylines here. We got 2 big matches on that undercard. I'm sitting here going, the ladder match tweet that I put out today, all I did was ask if there's ever really been a ladder match in the modern era, and follow that thread, folks. Follow the bouncing ball on that one. Wow, that was a crazy morning. All I kept doing was checking the replies and going, what the hell did I start? What monster have I created? So that was a lot of fun. Watching Stutzy in there and Kazi's in there giving his 2 cents. And that's the joy of this community, is the fact that I could just put a question on there about a damn ladder match, and everybody and their mother associated with CWF, don't sleep on our man Chet, please. Chet is going to Battlecade to fight Trevor. Come on. I would be so shocked if the main event this year, Battlecade, was not Trevor Lee and Chet. I'd be so surprised if that was not the main event of Battlecade this year. I would be surprised, I would be shocked if it wasn't babyface versus babyface. I think the writing's been on the wall since Chet won the Weaver Cup. That's the direction I think they're going. Now that I say that, it's going to happen 50 other ways than what I just said, probably. But that's the direction I think they're heading. And I've been saying that since Kane Justice got eliminated from the Weaver Cup. I've been saying that Chet is going to be the man to win, and that Chet is going to be the guy for Battlecade's main event this year. I'm excited to see who all's in the Rumble this year. Snooty Fox was just announced this morning. I believe tonight that they announced that I think it's Keith Mack is going to be in there. They've already announced like Ethan Alexander Sharp. The All-Stars are going to be in there. Snooty Fox, like I said. Scrolling through CWF's Twitter page, they announced that Frankie Flynn is going to be in there. Chet Sterling, of course, is going to be in the Rumble. They said this is the final chapter for Dirty Daddy and Kane Justice. No rematch for the loser. And you know what? They have a promo pic here with Kane Justice he's got a CWF shirt on. He's got his hair down. He's got that RGO title over his shoulder. That's a nice promo pic. It's a nice promo pic right there. Good 8x10 of that, man. Get an 8x10 of that. Sell some merch, Kane. Heels don't sell merch, Joe. Oh, bullshit. Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham is going to be there. Otto Schwanz is in the Rumble, of course. Let me see here. I'm just scrolling through. Donnie Dollars, always a surprise or two. Yes, I'm looking forward to the surprises. Michael McAllister is going to be in there. Of course, Eric Royal, who won the 2009 Rumble. My thing is Cecil Scott going to be in it? Because Cecil's not supposed to be in any more Rumbles, but it's wrestling. So, of course, Roy Wilkins. Aaron Biggs is going to be in the Rumble as well. My God, that's a hell of a tag team there. I didn't even know that happened on Impact. Andrew Everett, Caleb Connolly, and Trevor Lee. Too bad it's on Impact and not in a CWF ring. That's all I got to say. Of course, Mecca isn't going to be in there. Rick Converse is in the Rumble. So it's a pretty stacked Rumble this year. I think this may be the quote-unquote most star-studded Rumble that they've ever had. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this. I'm excited for, the best part of the Rumble is the surprises. Because you never know who's going to pop up. You never know. Papa Hales could be in the Rumble this year for all we know. Papa Hales would make a hell of a Rumble entrance. Hell, they may even drag Bruce Mitchell's ass in the ring. You never know. But yeah, so that's the Rumble. I'm so looking forward to FanCon, guys. I can't tell you. I'm getting stage fright. I wake up every morning, and I sit there and I think to myself, I get to perform this in person for the first time ever. So I get to do the art of radio in person there at a wrestling venue for the first time ever. And I start marking out and I start getting nervous, and I don't know why, but I'm looking forward to it so much. I've done all the testing I could do. The headset, my headset that I usually use, broke on me this morning. I ended up finding another one. The laptop that I'm going to be bringing to FanCon to use as a screen, pretty much, has a cracked screen in it. So don't judge. Please don't judge. Or what do the kids say today on Twitter? Don't at me. It's crazy. I had the laptop. It was a brand new laptop. Well, not brand new. I had it for about a year and a half. And can't afford insurance for Hales and Mitchell. It's North Carolina. You don't need insurance on a show. Now, if they were doing it in Virginia, God. I can see why they don't come up to Virginia now. It's not just the travel and moving the ring and everything. It's all the licensing and the commissions. Hell, I don't see how Nova Pro does all that. Or I know how they do it, but I don't see how they deal with it, I should say. The commission is so stupid in Virginia. I have a really good commission story about Virginia and the commission and how they can come in and just shut a show down. I really do have a good story, and if I might tell it next week. I might even tell it at FanCon if you want to hear it. Come up to me. I'll tell you the story. Let me just say this. It involves Virginia State Police. It involves Dave and Earl Hebner and a real shady promoter. That's all. And a real shady roommate that I had at the time. I'll just say that. Just let that circle in your head. That's a mix for disaster right there. I mean, the Hebners just being there. Let's just say the Hebners weren't too happy, and I got to look inside of Greg Valentine's briefcase that night, and Tanaka was there, and oh man, let's just say what happened at the nightclub after the event got shut down was better than the event itself. A little bit of the event itself was. It was a crazy night. First time I'd ever gotten drunk was that night. First time I'd ever got chopped by a wrestler was that night. In fact, I was so drunk when we left the nightclub that I don't remember anything from the time I took the last shot until when my roommate's brother was one of the wrestlers on the show. So I don't remember anything from the time I took that last shot until the time I guess I dared this guy to chop me. And I guess I lifted my shirt for the chop. Because I got woken, the next thing I remember after the shot of liquor was this dude chopping me in the chest. And then I fell for the old Iggy of, oh, look how red your chest is. Pow! And he got me again. And then I went to bed, just passed out in the bed, woke up the next morning, had a big old red handprint on my chest. It was great. But yeah, so that's a story for another day. Say New Jack was involved with that too, if I remember correctly. New Jack had a part in the building. This is back when New Jack was trying to get a wrestling school going in Richmond, Virginia. And he had a bunch of people come in and spray paint the walls and try to make the walls of the arena that they had set up look good. It was a really cool looking arena that they had. Problem was the commission didn't get their money. Oh man, it's a long story. But anyway. The promoter's name, oh man, I'll tell you the promoter's name. Her name, she went by the name Gidget. That's how crazy this shit was. It was rough. Ooh, it was rough. There's more to it, but I'll leave it there. So that's my picks for the Rumble this year. I think Chet's gonna win it. Caprice Coleman's actually gonna be in the Rumble too, so that's gonna be awesome. It's really going to be great. I'm looking forward to this so much. Looking forward to, we got people from Minnesota coming to this thing. People from Minnesota, land of my ex-wife. Forget 10,000 Lakes. My ex-wife's from there. She still lives there, thank God. Keep her out of Virginia. But we got people as far away as, Minnesota, and that's 1,200 miles. If you're going to drive it, it's about a day and a half. If I'm a truck driver, it's a day and a half. If I'm driving on my own, it's probably about a day. So it's pretty big. I think, JB and Johnny P are kind of impressed about how many people are coming to this thing. I'm shocked at how many people are coming out of state for it. We got people from Texas, Minnesota, Tennessee, I think Florida. It's crazy to think that CWF has grown so much in the last year, guys. So I'm happy to be a part, a small part of it. I'm happy to be a part of this community with you guys. I'm so thankful that you guys watch each and every week. And I'm thankful that you guys come to the after show here on YouTube each and every week with me. After tonight, there's probably going to be no more videos on this channel until the stuff from FanCon airs. My plan is to have that FanCon stuff up on Sunday because I start my new job on Monday. So my plan is to get all these videos up from FanCon uploaded by the time Sunday night or even Saturday night gets here. That's another crazy thing is I actually get to go eat at Hooters for the first time. I know, Joe White's marking out over Hooters, over food. Last 4 left. I know. But I actually get to go eat at Hooters for the first time in fucking God knows how long. I actually had to look at their menu and see how much their menu's changed. The last time I ate at Hooters was SummerSlam 2011? 2010 maybe? Yeah, it was... No. I want to say it was the Royal Rumble in 2011 was the last time I ate at Hooters, because me and my friend Robert, fan of the channel, or friend of the channel here, used to go there to watch the wrestling pay-per-views. So that's the last time I've been. It's been almost 7 years. It's crazy. And it's not that I'm Joe's barred from going inside of Hooters. It's the fact that I just have no need to go in there. Their food really hasn't changed much, but I'll just say this: the food from the Italian restaurant's probably going to be better than the food from Hooters. But I'm going to go to Hooters and hang out with everybody from FanCon and chill out and have some fun. I don't, here's a crazy thing: this is my first con. If you want to call it a con, this is my first con. I've never been to a Comic-Con. Final 4 picks. It's going to come down to Trevor. I'm going to say it's going to come down to Trevor. I think Brad Attitude comes down in there. I think Roy Wilkins is in there. I'm going to go out on a long shot here for my 4th one. Kane Justice. If Kane Justice is in the Rumble. I thought he meant last 4 watching. That's what I thought you meant. The last 4 people left. I'm like, how do you know who they are? But yeah, that's my final 4. I think it comes down to Roy Wilkins, Brad Attitude, Trevor Lee, Kane Justice. I'm probably going to be wrong because that's what I want to happen. But it's probably not how they're going to book it. So I don't know. I'm going out on a long shot there with the Kane Justice. I know. I don't know. Are the people who are in the matches beforehand, are they going to... Well, they are going to be in the Rumble because they announced Mecca and Biggs in the Rumble. So I know. Big surprise, Joe. Yeah, I know, right? Hey, I'm looking at it this way. My goal for this weekend is to not get drunk because I don't drink anymore. My girlfriend said, you come home drunk, you're never allowed out of the house by yourself again. So I can't drink. I can't drink anyway because I have diabetes. You'd be carting me off the damn hospital if I have a drink. I have a freaking diabetic coma right there. Are you Kane's dad? No. Are you Kane's dad? I like that. That joke. Oh man, no. Why did you? I just got a joke that popped into my mind, but I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to end the show. That's it for tonight, folks. That's it for tonight, folks. Good night, everybody. We'll see you at the Sportatorium.